Hello and welcome to Long's Toys. Sorry for a bit of a hiatus there, but I was out of town for work. Didn't really find anything on my travels down there. I usually do pretty well as far as finding new stuff, but not so much. But I am finally back, and I'm bringing a review that is a long time in the making here. The Pink Ranger from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Legacy line. This figure was super hard to find. Wave 1 came out, I found them with no problem. When Wave 2 came out, I found yellow, black, and blue all at the same time. Picked them all up once, very easy. And then never found a pink. Don't know why. Distribution for these was really weird. I don't know, it was just weird. But I was watching the MMPR Toys video where they were in Oregon and the guy had, or the Toys R Us had a whole bunch of them. I was able to contact that store. I did a phone order and they sent me this. So finally able to finish my Legacy collection. Very excited to finally be able to review this for you guys. So as you can see here, it is the same green and yellow triangular packaging that is indicative of the 90s packaging for the 8 or 10 inch figures. I don't remember how exactly tall they were. It is a Toys R Us exclusive. If you'd like to read on the back here, we'll take a look at the story. I'll try to zoom in. I'm sure by now you're familiar with the story, but there you go. Over here you can see all the other figures in the Legacy line, as well as the Pink Ranger's bio. And all of the weapons do combine to form the Power Blaster, so we'll be taking a look at that as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this figure out of the packaging and take a closer look. Alright, so here we have the Pink Ranger out of the packaging. I think she looks pretty great as a figure. She does have the kind of hard plastic skirt, very much like, you know, the current Ranger figures have, like the Super Mega Force and the Dino Charge figure has a skirt like this. So because of that, the legs can't really do much as far as posability. They're kind of limited. That's about as much forward and back and out to the sides as they can go. But she does have full 90 degrees at the knee, and then the cuff at the boot can rotate. Arms are same articulation as anybody else. You have the hinge here as well as the 360 spin. You have the 90 degrees in the elbow, and then you have the cuff, or I should say the cuff of the glove is where it can spin the whole hand there. And then you have the head can rotate from side to side. So all in all, I think the figure does look pretty good. I'll try to get in a little bit closer so you can take a look at the belt buckle here. It's supposed to be a pterodactyl. It's kind of hard to see. You can kind of see it there. So, not bad. The helmet I think looks really nice. I really like the job they did with that. So very cool. She does come with some accessories. She has the blade blaster that everybody comes with. Nice white black detailing there. And it does have a peg so it can go ahead and attach to her belt. Just like that. She has the power bow, which has a nice bit of detailing. Has some red paint here, and you can see that there's a little pterodactyl coin there on the handle on both sides. And then all these connections are for when you combine the Power Blaster. But it's pretty good. It's a little bit flimsy plastic. It's not as hard plastic as I would like. Trying to put it in her hand is a little difficult. Not terrible. But you can see here she can do some poses. She holds it out. Now the only problem is you can't really... I would have liked kind of a bicep swivel so that you could kind of turn this hand down so that it looks like it's trying to hold the... She does come with an arrow. So to try to put this in a pose where it looks like she's actually... I mean, I guess you could rotate at the cuff and try to do something like this. But it's just a little awkward. It would have been nice to have a bicep swivel because then you could turn the whole arm at that and then have the 90 degrees, get the arm over here. I mean, it's a pretty long arrow, so you can kind of try to make something work if you just play with it a little bit. But she doesn't really hold. I mean, you can kind of... That's actually not terrible. And that arrow is literally just balancing. It's not really held. I mean, but yeah, there you go. It's just kind of balancing on there. But it doesn't look bad. I mean, that's probably the best you're going to get as far as making her look like she's drawing the arrow back. But all in all, I think it's a nice figure, and I think the accessories it comes with are pretty cool. The arrow wasn't necessary, but, you know, it's a nice little addition. You could, of course, just have her hold the arrow like she's, I don't know, pulling it out of an invisible quiver or something. You could kind of get it to look like she's pulling it from behind her, pulling it out. So, but all in all, I do think the figure looks pretty nice. So I just kind of wanted to do a little group shot now that I actually have all 5. It's really nice to get all 5 members of the team in the new 5-inch scale. They look great together. They're also going to, you know, look great with the Dino Charge figures or the Super Mega Force figures or any of the other Legacy figures we got in the Super Mega Force line. So I'm really enjoying that they're doing a universal 5-inch scale. I would even love it if they'd want to go back and do, you know, all the Alien Rangers, all the Zeo Rangers, and so on and so forth. I'd love to get full teams all on the same scale, all kind of this new action hero line. Alright, so I wanted to show you real fast how to go ahead and combine all these to form the Power Blaster. You can see under here there is a little tab underneath this kind of clip, and that is going to go into the little tab hole right there in the middle of the handle for the bow. So you're going to put that underneath and kind of, you're going to have to lift up the silver part a little bit. But if you can get it in there, and I apologize, I'm going to have to take a look at it close up. Okay, that's in there. Then these clips underneath here, you're going to just go ahead and pop in the power daggers and the power lance. And it's up to you how much you want them to stick out from under the bow. I mean, they can slide all the way up and down. I kind of just figure I'll have them in line with the end of the axe. So just go ahead and pop those all in there. And then you're going to come around, and the sword is just going to clip on right there. And there you go. You have the Power Blaster. I think it looks pretty good. It's not super flimsy. And I'm just going to go ahead and bring in the Red Ranger here. He can obviously hold this. If I place it in his hand like so. Oh, and his sword fell off, so I'll have to reattach that. But there you go. It's a little heavy, so you kind of have to figure out maybe bend him at the elbow to give him a little bit more support. And I apologize, I realize I'm zoomed in too much. There we go. So it is kind of heavy. Maybe bring in the other hand here for a little bit of support. Just to kind of keep it up. Haha. So there you go. But it can be held. It looks pretty good, him holding it. It does make him pretty top heavy, so I'm leaning him back. So you'll have to play with it to try to get it to work out. But then if you wanted to bring the other guys in, just to put them behind, so that you have everyone lending their power to fire the Power Blaster. I think that looks pretty good. With the exception of he's a little leaned back and Trini doesn't really want to stand for me. Come on, Trini. There we go. So yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. It's nice to have a whole team, and it's pretty, neat that they have all the weapons combined. So very cool. So as I said, I was very excited to get hold of this figure finally. It's nice to have a whole team. I think they did a pretty good job with these Legacy figures, and I have no complaints. The only thing I could even think to nitpick is, like I said, it would have been nice to have a little bit of a bicep swivel just so it could be a more natural pose of her drawing the arrow back in the bow, but it's not a huge deal. You can get something where it's a decent pose, and you know, I didn't really miss the bicep swivel on any of the other figures, so it's unreasonable to think this one would have it on its own. But I think it's a great figure. If you can find it, I recommend it. Hopefully, if you wanted one, you've already got one by now. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look, long overdue as it was, at Kimberly the Pink Ranger from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Legacy line. And thanks for watching.